Hello, good evening and welcome. Welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Oxchair, on the show tonight. It's two late, very late substitutes you have to thank for standing in. Southside and Big Stevie. How we doing, gentlemen?
Aye, good Ox. And welcome, Stevie. Good to be on the night with you, pal. And good evening to everyone listening.
Both the guys arranged to be on Rudy, and of course the one and only Bridgeman. Had diary clashes. Yes, diary clashes. Good to be busy, big man, eh?
Diary clashes.
Aye, I don't know what that means, mate. That was what I got told, you know. One of them's out signing autographs, the other one's out for something. You can work out who's doing what, you know. Anyway.
SAS standing in for them tonight anyway. Stevie and Southside. All right.
I think you're nearly right. I think it's ASS, but that's another story, right?
He knows what it is, Steve. It's the SAS, right? You get it right.
Yep.
Right, okay. There's only one story hitting the headlines, and I don't think anybody is surprised at what's happened today. Well, in the last couple of hours or so, yeah. I don't think anybody's surprised. And I'm asking you, gentlemen, to use your opinions and your thoughts. See if you can keep the emotion out of it. Start with, we'll go to the oldest first, Stevie.
The oldest?
Aye, Stevie, come on.
You're upset me already. Listen, guys, you're totally right. Does it really surprise us? You know, the goalposts have moved again in my eyes to suit. But look, doesn't matter to me. I just think that whenever I think it's a Wednesday night at 7:45 they've moved it. I can't mind the date. Is it the 28th? I can't mind the date when they've moved it to, but just, it doesn't matter when they've moved it or where. They've still to play the Rangers. And I'm pretty confident they've no beat us for 2 years, give or take. And I'm pretty sure that that's your team talk. The team talk's there now. The people can see, decent people can see the goalposts getting moved now. And that's all your team should be looking at. They think they can move it and cheat and lie and scratch and get their way, Derry. Well, they've still got us to play. And I just hope the Rangers players take everything on board what's happening here. I don't know what
question for Southside. A question for Southside. Southside, do you seriously think, being a very, very wealthy entrepreneur, do you consider that this thing will be finished in 3 weeks?
No, mate. No. I mean, you've got to remember, people are going out up to the 24th. You know, she's allowing people to go out and go to dancings and go to clubs and pubs, that alone, in the whole of Glasgow, Scotland. So you'd normally be tell you that in a few weeks' more time, when the figures start coming in, more people will probably have it. If she was wanting to be serious about it, and she should have nailed it there and then and said there'll be no football, there'll be no going to pubs and clubs. Sorry, Christmas is basically cancelled if she's trying to tell us it's that serious. Tonight you've got games going on in Scotland. But nah, mate, you can see how it started. Yeah. As soon as the story broke, there was no fans allowed. The first club, so, you knew it was coming.
If we continue, and if things they go back to normal, and it's an if, yes, Stevie, on the 16th of January, miraculously, fans are allowed in. A certain club who have lied about tours to Japan, possibly lied about their upset about an ex-player to move fixtures in the past or manipulate fixtures for their benefit in the past. How many games have they played without fans? Have you counted that up?
No, definitely no.
Well, put it this way, it's less than one. I know that the school you went to, that's quite a tricky sum, so I'll go to Southside.
They're despicable, mate, for what's happening. You know, I think we all seen it coming, mate. You know, we all seen this coming. And like you said, what you've highlighted earlier, they're talking about getting fans back into grounds and all that. So what happened 2 seasons ago when we could have finished the league off? They weren't worried then about getting fans back into the stadium, you know.
If this is resolved by the 16th of January, I will be surprised. I hope it is for everybody, for different reasons, for society and everybody's sanity, and so kids and can go on with their life. I hope it is. But at the moment, I think we're being very short-sighted if we think with what we're reading every day it'll be sorted. Hope I'm wrong, and I hope it is sorted and we move on, Stevie. But if it is sorted, if it's sorted by the 16th of January, I'll ask you the question again. How many times will that team across the city played behind closed doors with fans? So what's the impact on them?
Listen, Ox,
No, Stevie. How many times will they have played with fans behind closed doors? I'm giving you a big clue. It's less than one.
0. I said that.
Correct.
0.
Correct. And then I've got another question for both of you then. If it isn't sorted, what is the point, Stevie?
What is the point? The point is everything they're doing to suit them. You get back further. I mean, you're talking about their ex-player there, Full O'Donnell. You could get, I mean, it goes on and on and on. Supercomputers, games. It's unbelievable. Leagues not getting finished.
So you're telling me, Stevie, when I'm going to go doing this in the corner, that you're telling me last season when the fixtures came out, when we did think there was a chance we might be in the Gruns by October, when the Rangers and Celtic game miraculously appeared at number 11, that was the computer. Is that what you're telling me? Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, I will, yes.
By the way, Southside, I thought these boys last night were cynical, but that's never even crossed my mind, Southside.
Well, it certainly crossed minds, mate. You know, it was all engineered to suit them, and it ended up you get no fans in. You know, and like you say, see in our 3 weeks down the line, you don't know where society's going to be. We'd like things to open up and get back to a bit of normality. We want total normality back, if possible, in time. But the chances are that you might not be. So in 3 weeks down the line, if the games can't get played, like you say, where does that leave us? Where you could have played games after Boxing Day, played the 2 games, got them out the road, and then we had a 3-week break, and then assess it. I mean, what much more damage can you really do? You know, it just stinks to the heavens, mate. They were the first team to come out and shout for it, and the rest followed suit. You've got Celtic supporting chairman, and you've got Celtic supporting sympathisers out there at clubs, and that's just the way it is, and that's what we're up against. We've been up against it for years, and we know it. But now it's back to the fold again. You know, it's back to just working it out. Oh, what do you think? Oh, I don't think we should play. Oh, I don't think we should play. And before you know it, Hibs, I mean, what would Hibs have not to play it for? They've put a new manager in, so they're probably thinking, well, we give him more time, try and get a team together, and that gives him more time to work with players. I could see their agenda for that. And there's one or two other chairmen. I mean, you think the St Mirren chairman, you know, all right, they're hit with COVID and stuff. They've probably got about the only legitimate excuse St Mirren now because of the amount of players that are affected, to be honest.
Right, they had 4 changes for their team since, I believe, the night.
Oh, have you? I don't know.
So we've got Ryan Jack, Phil Hollander, Leon Balogun, anybody else I can think of? Borna Barisic. 3 out of 4 of them are international. 4 out of 4 of them are internationalists. We've not been able to pick them. That's football. All right, it's illness and it's a pandemic, but 4 changes, it's not exactly the end of the world for any team. You just have to deal with it, suck up and stay. Stevie?
Aye, you've just got to go on with it. I mean, that's just the way it. But listen, I'm trying to keep my cool here. I was listening to Southside, and I
don't give you any more arithmetic questions, don't worry.
Got to not make me laugh, because I'm pure fizzing about the whole scenario. Listen, we all know it takes 2 idiots to outvote a genius, and that's what's happening here. All these different clubs, it's got Celtic minded all through their clubs. Like the St Mirren chairman's no longer after apologising for the stuff that he was saying about Rangers, their support. I mean, it's just a joke. They've got a Celtic show inside their grun. That's Bob they're playing tonight. And then Hibs, and you just need to look at the rest of them. Southside round them all off. It's just a case of now, if things did go to a vote, I mean, I believe it was just the SPFL that came out with that. They asked for opinions, and then they voted. They just came out and said themselves what was happening. But if it did go to a vote, it'd be the same outcome anyway. It's just, it's unbelievable. The goalposts are moved all the time against the Rangers. But listen, for Glasgow Rangers, we'll just dig in deep, dig your heels in the trenches, and let's get tore into them this Wednesday. I believe it's February the 2nd, is the game now. So, we just still got us to beat. So, let's do it. Let's just get in about them, because we all know what they've done. They've moved the goalpost to suit Celtic. That's all they've done.
Economics. Aberdeen came out yesterday and said they potentially lost £500,000 for the revenue against Dundee and Rangers being at home. But what I can't get my head around, I get that, I understand the argument about pounds, shillings and pence, but there's no guarantee Southside in 3 weeks you'll get any revenue through the turnstiles.
That's exactly it, mate. I mean, everybody out there that runs a business had a business and that, and the whole country's been shut down. A lot of people have lost a lot of money. But like you say, if nothing changes in 3 or 4 weeks' time, what's he going to say? The same thing as what he's just saying now. The ideal thing was you can still play football and it was just a limited number of fans. That's what's the criteria. That's what she said. So what is the problem here? You just finish the games off and then you have your winter break. That just seemed what would happen. I don't see what the clamour was by all the clubs to shut it down and hope 3 weeks later that it's going to be any better.
Can I come in there, Ox?
Yes, mate.
Right, we talk about these clubs are moaning about the shillings that they're losing and all the rest of it. They don't worry about losing shillings when they cut the Rangers support tickets and their arena ends empty. How did they not come out and talk about pound and pence then? I mean, their Hearts Cup were allocation to what, 800-900, and all Dundee end, there were seats everywhere. They don't talk about money then. Hibs, our other team had done it. Kilmarnock done it before that. And these clubs are all talking about how much money they're losing because of COVID. But the other
thing in all is, Stevie, the team for across the city, they're used to playing in front of an empty stadium.
Of course they have. That's where they get big banners up the top bar to hide it.
The fans don't turn up anyway.
Unreal. They're very rich at talking about money. They're losing money. They lose money every week. When they cut Rangers' allocation, they don't go on about it. So what they go on about it now is it poor them now. Listen, a wise man said to me earlier, by the way, we need to look at sometimes we've got to lose the battle and win the war. And maybe the Rangers support now should maybe start saying, you know what, we don't want your away tickets, beat it. And that's the hardest thing in the world for us guys that go to the away games today, by the way. But if it's going to take 2 idiots to outvote a genius and we're going to lose the battle, well, listen, let's lose the battle and win the war. We've got to think about what we're going to do now, seriously, because this is beyond a joke, man.
I take your point, and that's how I invited you to on the night in case it went to a vote.
He's right. I'm peed off with it and all, mate. I don't know. I mean, we've gave them our shillings for season upon season and years. They've cut our allocation, then we'll up it when we're not doing so well. And like Stevie says, I was at Tynecastle. I was lucky enough to get a ticket. I could see plenty of seats in their end, empty. No, Aberdeen will be the same. And even when we go and play that game on the Wednesday night up there, that end, they'll still have plenty of spaces about their stadium, no? And it's a joke. And maybe it's time the Rangers support go together. And it is a hard one because they've tried it before and people went and all that. And I didn't go that time at Tannadice. I thought, no, I stopped with all the boys and we all watched that game. We went to the Boozer. But it might be time to start thinking clever here and start hitting these clubs in the pocket. You know, we can all say we don't want to miss a game, but we went right through a COVID season when we all missed the games and we all wanted to get back and all that. And it is a heartbreaker. Believe me, it will be a heartbreaker.
See if I had a hat on, I'd take it after you, Biggie. Because I know how difficult that must be for you to say that.
It is, because right now, mate, I'm absolutely raging about this. No, we're just getting mugged off here by the rest of these clubs, then they're going to come and ask us for 32 quid, 33 quid, 29 quid and all that, and we're going to turn up and fill 3 ends of our ground or fill one end. No, we should just probably say as a support, you know what? No, see, just for this game, we're going to hammer yous. We're no gone. No, and we'll show yous and see what yous do then.
We need Rangers to do it, but Southside, we need the actual Rangers to say we're not taking tickets.
Aye, I know that. Well, maybe we need to, maybe some other people thinking might hear us and might think, you know what? We've got a point, Stevie. We should be hitting these clubs with us. No, they need our money. No, that's why they put the pies up and the Bovril up and the juice up and everything else. No, they pour it out. I know. They pour it out of 2 litre bottles and then charge you £2.20. Do you know what I mean? Some of them I know, when they're getting it for £1.29. 2 litre bottles. You know, they're ripping the absolute knitting out it. No, but we accept that because we follow our team. And as we want to days go and watch Rangers away from home, support them, shout our hearts out and see them win. But all these teams now, Stevie, are just acting it, man. I'll need to laugh because I could say something.
Right. Do you see the way that mind works, Stevie? Like a computer, price of Coke, markup. You can see the difference. Me and you just be normal blokes. We don't think like that, but he's supercomputer there.
Ox, let's be honest. Southside's got 70 or 80 European campaigns under his belt. Can I wait to see the Rangers? And that guy's
more European campaigns than Monty.
There you go. Merlin Bridge, that's saying something. So the bottom line is for that guy to turn around and say, maybe we should stop and think, maybe, this is where it's getting us. See, Scottish football, it's eating itself for the inside out. And it's nothing but blind hatred for Glasgow Rangers. That's all it is. It's to stop us in our tracks. They're pulling every stroke they can do for refereeing. I mean, we Alfie used to get a yellow card in the tunnel. Before he even came out, he would be booked. What's happened to all that? How does a guy go for getting booked every week one season to no getting a yellow card at all, Ali? News, no wonder. What happened? So was it Alf? It was a bad boy for 1 year, or was it just maybe dodgy refereeing? Listen, they've got everything. They've got supercomputers. They've got the SPFL. They've got the SFA. What do you call them? The other mob too. The
SPFL.
Aye, the SMP as well. They've got them as well, Southside, on their back pocket. Glasgow Council looking for bits of land and giving them it for nothing. And they've got everything that's gone. They've no shame. And we all know the biggest secret in Scottish football is still to come out. And they'll see what they've done to their own support. Why be?
So are you telling me a club? You telling me that a club who wouldn't want anything to do with our country or culture, and then lead the celebrations for the Commonwealth game with Her Majesty gone there to open it? Are you saying they would be? It's hypocrisy for them or double standards? Is that the point you're trying to make?
That's the point I'm trying to make. Is there a club with no principles in there?
Well, I don't know how user word because I never thought of that.
Always cheated, never defeated. That's our motto.
Anyway, look, we'll need to get these phone lines opened and see what people say and keep calm, lads, because we're better than this, and we will win the war and we'll beat them on the pitch. Yeah, because I hope they're going to compensate our club for what you're talking about. 1.5 million maybe match day revenue. Is that about right?
Mm-hmm. Can I ask, it's a wee quickie. What's the situation with the boys with the African nations? See if they go, we've got a right to call that game off then, haven't we?
Stevie, I'll get the research department on it and hopefully I'll get your answer before Christmas, if that's all right.
Are you telling me? What a night this is going to be. Get the lights on, get the bells on.
You all right with that, Southside?
Aye, mate, 100%.
Well, we'll get the lines open, but you're not going to be here tomorrow night, Southside, are you?
No,
right. You can get your Secret Santa easy, so, yeah, early. So check your texts in a few minutes, all right?
Right, okay.
All right, I'll not tell you what you've got, but let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Right, okay. I'm quite a calm guy by nature. Is that fair, Stevie?
Aye, that'll be right.
Aye, I would say so, aye.
Generally,
Sensible.
Right, so sometimes it doesn't come across your feelings. We've got to be trying to stay calm and Fox, we can play devil's advocate at times on the show. Are we surprised at this any is? No, we're not. Do we see why it is? Yes, we do. A certain clubs get hamstring injuries and they think another couple of weeks will help them and solve the problem. Because there's no way they can guarantee there'll be football fans back in on the 16th of January. And we can see right through them. It's so easy to see their game. It's sad. Stevie.
Oh, 100%. 100%. I mean, they've near had neck, Ox. They've just absolutely near had neck. They talk about sporting integrity. My God, man. They've just no redneck whatsoever. Their clubs is stinking from the bottom to the top. And honestly, it's we're Glasgow Rangers. They're never going to beat us. That's all I'm going to say. They'll never beat us off the park. They'll never beat us on it. The boys now don't need a team talk. If the Rangers players don't realise what's going on now, I don't know what they need. They need somebody to spell it out to them then, because they're getting robbed blind. They're trying to get the advantage with the fans in. We've already beat them at Parkhead with Big Catties getting the winner with their fans in. We only had 800 there. Listen, it doesn't guarantee them getting a victory because their fans are in. And as you said, Tay, because they've moved us 3 weeks forward, we're all blind. We're all walking into this blind. We could be in lockdown by that time. We come out of that. We just don't know what's round the corner.
I genuinely hope, Stevie, for your boy and all the young and all yours, that we're wrong and everything's sorted by the 16th of January for everybody, not just for football. Everybody and everything's back to normal. I genuinely hope that. But can we guarantee that at the moment? No, we can't. I think we've been joined by Andrew for Crookston. Evening, Andrew.
Good evening, Ox. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Andrew.
Good evening. How are you? Who's that? I've just basically tuned in. Who's on the panel?
Stevie. Big Stevie.
All right, Stevie. How you doing? I know Ox is on. Who else is on?
Southside.
Southside. How you doing?
Let me get through all the hellos. It'll be time to finish. Hurry up, make the point.
Just to say hello to everybody anyway. Right.
Just say hello. Carry on.
Just the pointer. All right. Sturgeon comes out with 500 fans per ground. Thing me, blah blah blah. Right, everything's fine until Celtic. Until that rancid, manky club say, "Oh, it doesn't suit them," because we all know the reasons why. We've been done. As you know, I don't know if you've already spoken about it, but anyway, we spoke about this years ago. We've been done like a kipper again, like we did with apparently an email that was left in a bloody spam folder that he didn't recognise up to now, and it's just corruption after corruption after corruption with them, and it's. If games are going to get cancelled, why not just cancel it after the night's game? Why not? Just after for the night's game? If they wanted it cancelled, why not just cancel it after the night's game? Why? Do you know what I mean? Why just before 2 games?
Well, why if you believe on your deputy first minister, whatever title he is, John Sweeney, is it? Or is it John Swiney? I can't remember.
Oh, I don't know his name. He's a
anyway.
He's an a-hole.
He said at the weekend that it was all right on Saturday because he never mentioned us, but a certain game at Hampden was a super spreader, but there's still games going on tonight with crowds here. I don't understand the rationale, but I don't want to go into politics. This is about football. It's a football show. Obviously, we cross the line sometimes because of the decision the government make. The reason we have, after Boxing Day, the football is cancelled in Scotland has been made by the football authorities. So we have to stick to be factual and say what's what. We know what's happened. People have got their own agendas. There's teams with 3, 4, 5 people maybe no fit, ill with COVID. Maybe people with injuries because it's middle of the season. They would want it now and give them a couple of weeks to get ready rather than play the games at Christmas. So we can see through them. Stevie?
100%. 100%. Everything you say is about them having injuries and everything else. That's exactly it. And who's the lad that's on there on the phone again?
Andy.
Andy Crooks and that. Andy,
Aye.
we just need time to calm, buddy. We really need to just, we know what's going on, we can see what's going on, but they'll still go to play as a game of football. And it's down to us to dig in and let's just roll the sleeves up and get tore into them. And just make sure we leave everything out there in the field. They've not done it. They've not beat us in 2 years, so I don't know what makes them think because they're getting a crowd in or the game's getting moved to their injuries get sorted out. I mean, Big Balogun had wee Kiago or whatever he's called in his back pocket the game at Ibrox. So, I mean, and I would say Big Bass stepped it up for them. So, I don't think it's going to make much difference that way. I really don't. But it's just unbelievable, the blind hatred for our club. And they're not even embarrassed doing it. They don't get embarrassed doing it. As Rock said there, John Sweeney's talking about it was a super spreader, that game Sunday. So why have they let the night's game go ahead then? Because there's a team.
And we'll cut across you. We've been joined by John. How we doing, John?
Hi, Ox. Hi, Pano.
Hi,
we
John.
doing, mate?
All right.
How we doing? What's on your mind? Is it what you're getting for Christmas, or are you wanting to speak to the lads?
I'm already getting what we're getting for Christmas. We're starting the league works, eh?
Here.
But I am. There's one thing that's on my mind.
Carry
I'm
on,
listening
mate.
to Rangers Radio the past couple of nights. I've been working away, but I can't phone in. I've been seeing a couple of texts and that. It's like, we need to stick together, eh? It's like, see the news when everything that's going on, see what I believe, Ox. This is what they could do. They could call the league the new, whether they win or draw the night. And they would still hand them the title. And we'll still be the people. We'll always be better than them. We should get out the past and stop talking about them. It's about us. It's always about us.
He's a wise man. We are the people. Southside.
Aye, yeah, we've got nothing to fear for them or anybody else, no. We're just a bit annoyed at the way it's been constructed and done, you know, through one tweet text going out or asking them to change it, and then suddenly everybody jumps on the bandwagon. It's time to, we sing the song, Naming Light says we don't care. So that's it. We need to battle down the hatches here. We stick together. And if it doesn't galvanise the support, and especially the team, the players and the club for what's been done, then I don't know what will. You know, so we just go. Aye, mate.
You'll find this interesting. I've been just sent a random text with somebody I know, yeah. And he's talking about boycotting, and he felt your emotion play, and that's a compliment, by the way. Unusual for me, I may add. Right. He says, but why no if you want to hit them with a heart? We still go to the games. We don't buy their programmes, we don't buy their hospitality, and we don't buy any of the food or beverages inside. Put a point in it.
We would never do that, anyway. Would you do it? Would you eat some out of that part?
No, I'm talking about every team. I'm talking about every team, mate.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, on you go.
I'm going to put myself on the naughty step. I'm prone to buy an odd pie now and again. So
that shocks me. That really surprises me.
I'm going to stand in the naughty step. That's my first yellow card of the night. I go to the away games and a wee pie, you know. So, but no, the caller's probably right. Buy nothing off them now. Absolutely nothing. If you can avoid it, do it.
Yeah. Aye, it was just a point of view somebody sent me. John.
Yeah.
Are you surprised? I don't think anybody is, are they?
No surprise at all. I think deep down inside, we're working what was going to happen again, eh? Ken, and basically it's coming upon us. So I was listening the other night. So Sunday, cup final, 50,000 in Hampden. The night, they came where they're playing, but whatever it is, it'll be a full capacity. And then, what is it, Boxing Day now, 500 in. If this was the nonsense that was going to carry on, I would actually look at Martindale for once and say it made sense, just call the league the new if that's what you were going to do. And you've got millions of sensible callers that are coming in to say that this is a pandemic and it is happening. This is going to take weeks and weeks until it evolves. And by that time, you're going to be started again and then closing. And I just don't care where we are, no more up, seriously.
All right. Aye, that's not the first time this point's come up because it was pointed out last night after the show, and I'll go to Southside with us and then Big Stevie. If they had to refund their tickets for the 2nd of January and then they all want their season ticket money back like they have in the past, and then the time they plays again in the league with the fixtures with this mental split, the league could be finished, and that's if they get back in. So yes. Obviously they're all that desperate to see this so-called new team that they keep going on about, but it's all about money. It's nothing to do with integrity. It's nothing to do with people's safety. Because if it was, they would have called the games after the night, or they would have played the night behind closed doors. Southside, then Stevie, then we'll go to John. Then
100%, mate. Was what you've said. You know, that's our mentality. You know, like you said, we're in this pandemic, and it's seemingly getting a bit worse, and a lot more people are catching it, and we've just got to go with what the rules are. So, but it's all about money with them, mate. And they think having a full stadium against us, that's going to benefit them, you know. Well, it's no benefit them the last few times we've been up there, you know. We've just got to, we're going to accept it like we're going to. We're going to say accept it and move on, mate. But see, if you know, it's just about battering every team now we get the chance, you know. Just get steamed right into them and get the points. Because if this does, like I said, I'll say it again, if this doesn't galvanise everybody now for what's happened, then I don't know what will, but we've just got to make sure that always cheated, never defeated mob get neighbour near us, you know, especially when we get a chance to play them. But it's just about beating the rest of the teams, mate, and moving forward for me now. That's the decision's been made, and let's battle the hatches down and get stuck right into everybody.
Stevie, then John.
Aye, you're totally right, Ox. It's all about, this is all about money for them. They couldn't afford that game not to go ahead with supporters in it, and they've made sure it's get moved so that all the beggars don't ask the club for a refund. That's all it is. They couldn't afford that. Whether we're that loyal, we've been to the boat, my Scottish, but we're stuck by our team, put our money in, put our money where our mouth is. We are the tried and tested. They're definitely no. They're getting letters out for their orders and everything else about supporters being minging. And they're just a different animal for us. We're loyal to our club. It wouldn't matter what happened in finances, we'd stick by our club, but they don't. They would be asking for a full refund for that game with their ticket money. That's 100%. They would be asking for their dough back, whether we would all be saying to Rangers, keep our dough, doesn't matter, we're in, we're wages. And that's the difference between the two clubs. And that's how the goalposts are moved. Make no mistake about it. It's about pound and pence for them.
All right, and you come, John?
Yeah, right, cheers, Ox. I'm going to change it a bit. All I'm going to say is it's coming up for 150 years that our ancestors, our fathers, our granddads, everybody galvanised us and made us who we are. And I didn't want to go here past Grund and talk about them and talk about the doldrums and what they've always done to us. We can this. We are the people. That's why they cry us this. We are the people for a reason. All I want to say is, literally, what you have already said is, we will galvanise. This will make us stronger. Everything that's ever done to us has always made us stronger. And we will move on for this and we will be better because we are better. And it's not for wee reasons, it's for the big reasons. The reasons that matter in life, and that's why we are the people. And can I just say one thing at the top of this, Ox? You were talking about my wee pal across the street, Darnay, wouldn't get any sus if he scored against us there night. You wouldn't get in the street because I'd be busting his tyres, Diva.
Andy, then back to Southside.
totally agree. Totally agree with what you're saying. And it's just everything to suit one entity, and that's it. One mob, and that's just the final straw. How much annoying and painful it is for us. We've just got to unite and stay strong, and we are, as John said rightly so, we are the people for a reason, and we just stand by each other. But I agree, as Jaffa said, about the away allocation. I would, as you say, I know you say, Doc, that Rangers would need to do it, and that's true. You say. But I would help them. I would help them in the pocket where it hurt. I would help them right in the pocket where it hurt. They're against us every. Do you know that? As I said at the start, all stems from going down to 500 fans, and then a wee tweet goes out, and then it's. Do you know what I mean? It's. Oh, here we go. Here's a chance for us to get the old firm moved to get fit players, and a few more of the G League signed. Do you know what I mean? That's sort of it just stinks to high heaven, but stinks to high heaven. But as I say, it's no surprising, but annoying.
The thing is, Andy, right? It was just it wasn't really a shock to us all. We've seen it coming. It's just the way it's been done. But see, now we can move forward for it, and we've just got to take it in the chin. And I'll be honest, right? See, like, you go to Ibrox, I go to Ibrox, Stevie goes to Ibrox. So what I would say is, if you asked us right now, I'll be honest, I'm giving an honest answer. If we'd had to play them behind our closed doors coming up and it was games at Ibrox, then I would have accepted it. I don't see your club would have said, "Oh, hold on a minute, we need to play in front. We want the support." That's my own opinion. What do you think, Stevie?
I don't know, mate. I really don't. If we had players, if the shoe was the other fit, if it was reversed.
No, I'm just talking about if the game had been at Ibrox. No. And it was your support, but if the Rangers had to say, right, we're not getting in. No, do you think we're going to turn around and say, hold on, wait a minute, we want to play this when we've got a full stadium?
No.
That's the question I'm asking.
I don't think we would have said much, mate. We'd have just said go on, mate, and we wouldn't have asked for our money back. That's one thing about every single one is it wouldn't have been about money. It have been as long as we beat them on the park, we'd be quite happy. But listen, man, they're just, as you said, Southside, came as absolutely surprise to us. It's annoying the fact that it's just, they're just blindly doing it now. They're doing it in front of your eyes now, and there's no red neck. The goalposts are moved again to suit. And every time it suits somebody, it suits my friends from the east end of the city. It's just blatant what they're doing. And that's the only annoying bit for me. But we knew it was coming. I mean, I was talking to Alec Kelly text yesterday, and I said to him it was going to happen, and Alex says no, and I said, look, it's coming. It's absolutely...
You should have known it's going to happen, because Alex never right.
Alex had talked to this. Well, they would get his song to number one, sorry, man.
Right, I'm going to go to Andy, get his last point, and we'll get some more calls coming in. Andrew, last point, mate.
Last point's got to be stand together, as we always do. Stand united, be proud to be a Proddy, wake up in the morning, still a bear, and no one of them minks. That's all I've got to say.
Cheers, brother. You'll have yourself a
cheers, guys. All the best.
We'll have a nice Christmas, yeah?
Right, all the best. You as well, Ox. Thanks very much.
I'll be here for you tomorrow, mate, but cheers.
You probably will, mate, when I've calmed down a wee bit.
Cheers. You can hear people getting generally angry, not because of the game's been cancelled. That's irrelevant and moved. It's because of the rationale behind it. Southside.
100%, mate. And we've all said it for the start. It's just moving the goalposts mid-season, but we know there's a pandemic. We know it's serious, and we want the country back as quick as we can get it back. We'll accept that. But there was no cancellations of football. It was just played with 500 fans, and then the uproar started, and then obviously it gets manipulated into whatever way they want it to come out.
I'll ask you then. So the 3 games between Christmas Day and the Winter break, when at the moment, how many teams in Glasgow in the top league are playing with only 500 people there? Southside.
There'll only be 2 is.
No.
What were you saying?
How many teams in Glasgow between Christmas and the winter break, the original winter break, would have been playing in front of 500 now?
But we were playing in front of
Everybody.
They're not playing.
No, everybody.
Their capacity is not being cut at all. So in other words, it's not going to touch them economically. So the question I'm asking you, as intelligent people, is where's the integrity? Where's the moral integrity, the sporting integrity, and the economic integrity if they think this is going to be fixed for the 16th of January? Southside and then John.
There's no integrity in them, mate, at all.
Thank you. That'll do. You've summed it up nicely there. John, and then we've been joined by Scott. John?
Short scum. Can't believe it. Honestly, it's harms all the time, but I can't believe it. It's scumduggery. They came what they're doing. We're the people. We will move on. We'll be the top of the league. Don't worry.
All right. I think somebody's got a radio with the show on in the background. Scott, I think you might have the show on. Can you turn it off?
I think it's the football was on. Sorry.
All right, turn it off, mate. Turn it off. We're not interested in football.
No. No, my point is, it was for Big Stephen.
Scott, before you go, thanks for calling and first time. Done, mate. Well done.
No problem. Right, we all knew what was coming. We knew this wasn't going to take anything out of it. But as well, just forget it, move on. Don't stoop to their level. Basically, we're Rangers, mate. We're better than that. We're better than that altogether. But on Stevie's point, I think he was on about the three players going away in international duty. I think they're allowed to request a postponement.
I've got it here. The rule in Scotland is G7, whatever that means. I thought that was a postcode just outside Kinnison, but there you go. Postponement in an international selection. A club shall be entitled to apply to the board for postponement of any official match where 3 or more players who otherwise would have participated in such a match are unavailable through international selection. And following receipt of such an application, the board may postpone and rearrange the relevant official match in accordance with Rule G3. What a mess this could turn into. Yeah, carry on, Scott.
So, as I say, do we play them at their own games? Do we go down the road of just being as bad as them?
Oh, tit for tat. I like a bit of that. Carry on.
I like a bit of tit for tat myself, but as I say, we know we're not going to get anywhere with the SPFL. We just get shunted from pillar to post constantly. Everything we ask for, we don't get. Anything that other mob asks for, they get. So, as I say, it's just a sad state of affairs the way Scottish football is at the moment.
Mm-hmm. I'm hearing that Ryland's gutted because he was hoping to get it again on the 2nd of January.
But I don't know. As I say, we'll dare talking on the pitch. That's it. We don't need it. We'll do it on the pitch.
Won the war, or the battle.
That's it. That's
Stevie,
it.
That's the point you made earlier, Stevie.
That's the bottom line. That's what they're forgetting. They're just taking it for granted. We'll get this move, we'll get our players back, we'll get our crowd in, and that should be enough to beat Rangers. Is it? They've made a big mistake, by the way. They've not beat us for 2 years, by the way. And the players in our dressing room, I hope this really puts them back. They're no team talk meeting, surely, for what they've done to our support and what they're doing. They're cheating. They're basically cheating. They've got people cheating for them. That's just how it is. There's no integrity. They're near a neck. They're an absolute joker club. And I'm not even going to get into it. As I said, it's absolutely no surprise. Look at the biggest scandal in world football probably is still to come out. Look what they've done to their own support. They've stayed silent and let that happen to their own support. Separate Identity FC. They're unbelievable. If they can do that to their own people, what chance have we got? Let's be honest. So it was definitely no shock. And by the way, I just hope Rangers go out and beat them that night. I just hope the wind blows upon the pokey in the 97th minute, and that honestly, and that Susie Maguire pausing bricks her neck. Honestly, I just hate them for top to bottom. What they're doing,
they're just a rancid club.
Oh,
they're rancid for top to bottom. That's it. And I hate talking about them. I just hate talking about them.
Listen, look at their support. They support every terrorist organisation from the Middle East right through Europe to Ireland. Enough said, ETA in Spain, the IPLO, and no, they're just Palestine. They're unbelievable.
Calm down.
I'm with you, Stevie. See what you say about all their terrorist organisations. They've got Jews that play for them. Why are you playing a PLO flag?
Let's get us back on the football because you're doing a dangerous
road. But at the end of the day, we're Rangers. We shouldn't be bothering what they're doing. We know they're doing everything they can, every dirty trick under the book to try and stop us doing anything. They just hate us. We just hate what our club stands for. And it's about time we went back in our morals and all and went back to what Rangers were.
I'll ask you the same question then. What's the economic impact to the two teams in Glasgow with what they've proposed or what they've done?
Well, it's going to be quite a big impact, financial-wise.
It doesn't affect one team at all.
No,
they're still if what they're saying is correct, then everybody's allowed back in the stadium in 3 weeks' time. There's no economic impact at all.
I can't see any fans getting allowed in. That's just my opinion.
Mate, but
I don't think they can. I know. That's another point. I know. See you on that. The fans see the boys that have got their season tickets and that still. You've got to commend them because that'll be if they do stop the fans coming in again. That'll be like 3 seasons. No fans, and we're still there paying their season tickets and that. But I think the club need to do a wee bit better with that. Do something for the fans. What do you think of that?
Can I come out?
Yes, mate.
I'm going to just change it a wee bit again. Look, everything that harms it goes on. This is a new thing that's harmed in our life. We've never had this in football in my whole 45 years of life. There has to become a point that sensible people can how to deal with situations. It's just like what you do in your work life. It's like what you do the night. You plan things, you logistic it, you get all planned out. No everything goes to plan, but when it comes to it, you make the sensible decision. And we've not got sensible people there to make these decisions. So I didn't believe none that's going on to do it. I believe at the last minute they'll change it again. That's why I said there, Lauren, my first point was, get them the league.
Is the point you're making then, John, that if you'd had the rules in place at the start of the season and you were transparent and no try to move them as the ball moved, you wouldn't have this issue. We would have known where we stood.
But Oaks, we've had that before and they've changed them before. We've
exactly.
had it set in place and they've changed it, so we didn't expect any less for them. We expect what they're going to do to us because they've done it before. We can what they're doing. All I'm trying to say is if you can stipulate a certain point, if you come to that point and you change it all goes to pot. It has to be all for one and one for all. And if that's not what's happening, well, that's why we like this. That's why we're having discussions like this on a football programme, and we should be talking about the next game, talking about the fans, talking about the atmosphere, and we're talking about something again that this government, this people have all brought up. And it's just, we're getting sick of it. But we still got in mind, we are the people. We'll always be here. Always. They've tried to shut us before.
On this occasion, I don't know if the government can be held responsible because what's happened in the football side is done to the football authorities. Stevie?
It's Nicola. Has it not been Nicola in this? Sorry.
Well,
Stevie?
I don't know if you can blame the government, you know. I don't get what the government done. Why 500? Why not just make it behind closed doors? Why 500?
Exactly.
Who's that going to help? Let's be honest.
It's going to help us three, Stevie.
It's
going to help us three.
I'll let the next game get played, and the next game what we didn't have last season, and I can all you guys pretty much use are all season ticket holders, and I'll only go a game now and again, and I'm no sacrificing a lot, you're sacrificing everything. But I would still think you guys would prefer to watch a game getting played and no getting cancelled.
I think the point is that we don't know if there's any guarantee in 3 weeks. And what do you do in 3 weeks' time? Where do you move the fixtures? Where do you stop? Yeah,
if that's what harms Ox, give them the league. But you know, because if you give us the league, by the way, it'll be front page, it'll be back page papers. Rangers go, but what harmed to them 2 years ago? But no, give them the league. And can what? I'll move on quicker because we can where we are. We can what we'll do. We'll move on. And we'll still be top of the league and we'll still get more trophies than them.
I've got it, Matt. I wouldn't give them nothing. I don't even like giving them the air we breathe. There you go. I just hate the sight of that club and everything about them. And if it's a game of tiddlywinks, I want to beat them at it. But it's just the fact, the annoying thing for me, buddy, is that they've got people cheating for them. So they stand back and say, nothing to do with us. Because the SPFL and Supercomputers and Dundee and Hibs and all these different clubs back them to the Gunnels because of what they've all got one thing in common: the hate for the Glasgow Rangers. And sometimes that is absolute anger on that behalf that they can't cheat us, but they've got other people doing it for us, and that's what's happening for your SNP, your Glasgow. Sorry, I hate repeating it. We want a show talking about football, not about politics.
We've been joined by a wise man. We've been joined by Big Al. Evening, big man.
Hello, is this Paranoia Radio? Yeah. I'm just phoning up to talk to that 90s band, Right Said Fred. Who are the two of these? Yeah. Did you take
Alex Kelly's known.
I think this might be a good time for Southside to announce what you got in the Secret Santa.
That's exactly what I got, Big Al. I got a grooming set.
Did you? Aye. So you do the dog's nails and all that?
I'm going to turn myself upside down.
Huh? I know a boy here that bleaches his dog's bum, man. It looks nice.
Yeah, big man. No, do you know what it is, honestly? We're just stating the facts, mate, right? We're no scared, we're no frightened of that mob. We'll take what we've been dished out, but it's a hypocrisy, mate. That's exactly what it is. There's a team up East End full of injuries and that, and then everything else just kicks off for there, and we've got sympathising chairman just backing them all the way. That's what it comes down to, mate, now. So we're back in the hatches down, we get stuck into them.
See the Solace
Can I just leave you with this up?
All right, on you go, John, before you go, yeah?
Big Al, this is for you. I've got a bald head and I'm wearing a pink t-shirt. Good night, lads. We are the people.
You're in Asia.
Cheers, John.
Thanks for taking my call. Cheers.
Cheers, John. Speak to you soon. Right, Alan. Big Al, you're a wise man. Give your thoughts.
Aye. Well, just on a slightly lighter note, but the great solace I take out of it is if there was 50,000 of them in a field and 50,000 of us, there'd be 50,000 of us walking out the field. They tramps would all be lying, you know what I mean, on the deck. So I always take that great solace for that we're always better than them, whatever we do. I caught that yesterday. I was going to my scratcher, and I knew straight away there wasn't going to be any middle ground found or anything like that. As soon as I read it, I went, all right, well, that's the game's going to be cancelled. The winter break's going to be pulled forward. I woke up this morning and I read it again in the paper. my prediction, Kate. I felt like Nostradamus when I woke up. I knew it was going to happen. One thing that's I've got a wee bit of a bugbear about it is like, where's the statement for us just to come out and the club should be voicing their opinion and I don't know what kind of statement they would come out with, but are they keeping the torch paper dry and all this carry on again, dignified silences? I think the club should be coming out with it. Again, it just seems a bit of hypocrisy, and I'd like the club to have come out and said something. Whether it means anything or no, I think it's good for us that we come out and say something.
I don't think you're alone. I don't think you're alone.
I'm not having a go at the club. I'm just saying I think it would be good for us to come out. But like, it is what it is. You are getting hit hard there with this Omicron or the China flu or the Wuhan flu, whatever it's called. Like, see here, last week, masks are gone, QR codes are gone. We're just living with it here. Mm-hmm. You're just getting on with it. You wear a mask if you want to wear a mask. You don't need to wear a mask. I don't know what the big fuss is in Scotland. You seem to have been in lockdown after lockdown after lockdown and rule after rule after rule. So, look, it is difficult. I would like to have seen the games go ahead. I've got a couple of weeks off over the Christmas period. Oh, that's what I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. That's that done with. So, be reading the things. The peaks and troughs. The peak is coming in 2 or 3 weeks' time anyway. If we believe
exactly,
science. Exactly. So I find that a bit crazy. Like, so look, let them do what they want to do. They have to beat us. It's as simple as that. We are. Look, it might work out in our benefit. It gives our manager an extra few weeks to work with the players. Yeah.
Well, they had the same time, but the only difference is instead of being Boxing Day to the 16th, instead of being the 2nd to the 23rd or whatever, mate.
It gives them it sooner to get into the players' minds and that. So
listen, I just want to I'll use this thought before we go. So, do you think that the teams that are economically hit with this decision should have the right to seek solace for the government plus the other clubs?
Aye, well, we've got a class action going ahead against China for 60 trillion.
Right, okay. Get yourselves in mute, because we're going to have a tune.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
The
Well, thanks for that, Fox Old School Blue. Aye. There's a lot of ifs and there's a lot of whys, and the rationale I can understand. Understand what you do for public safety, and I think the point that Southside and Big Stevie are making all is they both endorse that, but we can't see what they're achieving by what they're doing, yeah?
Oh, certainly, aye. But who does benefit out of it? I don't know who benefits out of it in the long run. Do they benefit?
Hello?
Maybe they do economically, potentially. But anyway, we've been joined by David from Grangemouth. Evening, David.
Evening, Ox and guys.
How we doing, mate? What's on your mind, mate?
Fizzing like the rest is. I've, as I say, a couple of things. So with this new rule, so we're not going to be getting into football matches until all the fans can get in.
That's what they basically said, that football stops now. So if we don't get back into next July, that's all the game's finished then, isn't it?
So that's it. I think that's the rule, isn't it? And when's that take place? Start?
I don't know, mate. I really don't know. I mean, they said these measures are for 3 weeks, but moving. So if they think the measures are going to get better in 3 weeks, they're not reading the same data that I'm reading.
No, it's supposed to be going to spike in about 4 weeks. 4 or 5 weeks.
It's a wonder in the spread, isn't it?
Aye.
You look at the science between the R rate. I'll know ask Stevie to do the maths and explain the R rate to people. Stevie, you all right with that? You ready?
I'm fine, mate. Why run?
You all right to explain the R rate, how it works?
Can I tell you the answer? Ask question 1690.
There you go.
Good answer, yeah.
Super computer before.
He's got a super calculator. Every time he presses, it always answers the same, doesn't
it? That's the best calculator.
Are you surprised, Davey?
No, I say to my wife earlier tonight when the game's going on. I says, but the rest of the games are going to get cancelled. They can't do that.
Davey, can I ask you, what's that like to talk to your wife?
She's not too bad at times,
right, okay, I'm just wondering what it was like.
Well, she's coming round regarding what I say. And she started to see the points of view that I'm making about just everything's down one side. And she thinks it's terrible, and that's my wife's point of view. And says, no, not really interested in the football side yet. But it's shocking. And I see Stevie or Southside's coming around to my way thinking about banning not going to the away games. I've raised this with you a couple of times.
I think he's more going for the idea of stop buying the pies.
Oh, that'd be a bigger incentive for Stevie then, wouldn't it?
I'd leave us more money for vodka, Davey, if you stop buying the pies.
You're all right, you get your vodka for Andy. You don't get your vodka for Andy in Leeds.
Trust me, mate, when they two go on their away trip, they don't give the vodka to anybody.
Another thing is, what's the likes of Hearts and Partick Thistle and Falkirk thing about? They were shafted the last time.
I don't think I've not picked out there's been a vote yet. I read the stuff just quickly before I come on the show. It seems to have been imposed by the league, and I don't think there's been a vote. They just canvassed them for their opinion. Maybe that's how democracy works.
Didn't they?
Maybe that's how democracy works nowadays, Big Al. You just canvass their opinion.
Whatever opinion suits you at the time.
Communist China, isn't it?
It's got up to the core, eh? My God, it's stinking.
You know all about being corrupt coming from Grangemouth.
I can't believe it.
A bit of light-heartedness there, eh?
Yeah.
But,
always.
Look, the only thing that's bugging me about it is I've got some time off. I get to relax and watch the games, and I've not got work the next again day. Like, that's really what's bugging me about it. Like, I think we're a strong enough team that when we get back playing, we just go from strength to strength. They can try all these tricks. It'll make it even sweeter when we get 56. You know what I mean? Even
Al,
sweeter.
Al,
Yes.
Big Al, that's the difference between us and them. I want them to have their players available. I want them to be at their strongest. You're probably a beat. That's no that. Listen, that's no what's annoying me. What's annoying me is these wee bitches run about them doing their lying and scratching and cheating for them. You know, it was said that all it takes 2 idiots to outvote a genius. And that's exactly what's happening here. When it does go to a vote, I know it didn't go to a vote this time. It was just down to the SPFL coming out with a statement saying, right, this is what's going to happen. It didn't go. Maybe they were asked opinions. I don't know the full SB, but the bottom line is, me as a bear, I want them to be at their strongest with all their one eyebrow brigade. I know we're capable of doing them.
Can I come in there, Ox?
Carry on, mate.
See, you're saying, Stevie, I would rather head the other way. Them, they're weakest, and we really hump them. And that would give them all the mere to agree about and girn about. And especially, see, I get no more delight than she likes an own goal or a debated goal or something like that. And we win the game with it. I get great delight with that because it gives them all the more I'm born about.
A 97
I see what you done there. That was quite good. You're wasted on here.
That's good coming for you. I'm wasted. I'm wasted, all right.
You're wasted on here, mate. Trust me.
Nah.
Right, okay. Look, I get Stevie's point, and by the way, obviously we're focusing on one team, Southside, but it shouldn't just be Rowan, is it?
No, it's no, but we're only focusing on them because they were the first club to come out with it. No, they're the one ravaged with injuries. They're the ones that are struggling to get their cell in the 90 minutes. I agree with Stevie. Play them when they've got their best team, when they're all in that stadium, and we can just go up there and beat them like we've done. I get that, but the thing is, the rules were stated at the start. We had a winter break. We can be in unprecedented times, right? We accept that. But a lot more people have had second jags and boosters than did when we stopped the football the first time. And we had to stop it, obviously. But a lot of us have moved on since then. And as it is the rules were stated by the government, just put 500 fans in your stadium, but you can still play football. That was it. And then suddenly, we could have a winter break now. No, move it through.
Why would they want a winter break then?
Because they've got players out injured. They're struggling to get over the line. No, they're obviously not looking forward to it, and they think having supporters in there is going to make the difference when we turn up. But they just, like Stevie said, they canvass it out, and then the trolls go on it, and then you've got the sympathising managers, no managers, but directors at clubs that will go with them, even if it's not to their benefit. The only probably team out there that had a legitimate excuse was St Mirren. But you've seen the state of their director, what he tweeted out about us and what he thinks about our club and our support. No. So, but they had a legitimate reason possibly to get the game put off because they look like they are struggling genuinely with cases of the COVID.
There's only 4 changes for the last team, mate.
Right, okay, so maybe they're using it as a smoke screen, maybe like you say, it's getting played because it can. So I'd expect them to play against us on Boxing Day, you know, and get that game out the road. But the rules were set out at the start of the season. We knew there was a winter break. There is no real reason to actually have moved the winter break at all. In my opinion, there isn't.
Mm-hmm. It's no public safety, is it? We've been
it's like everything else.
Can I just cut across today? We've been joined by the voice of an angel, and it ain't Charlotte Church. It's AK.
Good evening, boys.
Right, Alex.
A few big hitters on the night, Big Al, I know. Merry Christmas, big man.
Merry Christmas, Michael Stewart. How are you?
Good chat
a few
tonight,
big hitters on the night, man.
Good chat tonight with you boys. Showing a wee bit of passion there, Southside. Loving it, big man.
Big hitters, it would be some tug of war team. Carry on.
Aye, definitely.
A balaclava.
In Bahama.
Listen, as Stevie intimated there, I thought Sky would have more to do with this vote as anything. The English Premier League clubs went to them just 2 days ago to intimate that they wanted a kind of a circuit break to stop the kind of COVID recoil. I mean, England are 60 odd million people. Wales are what, 3.5 million? Scotland's 5 million. How have we broke up our leagues and the English are still playing?
By the way, the rugby's carrying on. And they sort of contact each other when they're playing that sport, didn't they? That's carrying on. They're playing on the 27th and they're not stopping, mate.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Now, cut in the rocks. Is that not behind closed doors?
Aye, that's what I'm saying.
Fans?
Aye, 500. I'm saying they're still playing, but
Yeah.
they've not postponed it for 3 weeks.
No. It's corrupt to the core, man. It's just it's stinking. And like the other caller says, you're looking for a wee bit for the club to say something and just make a statement, Sam. And you've got to be shown that you can't be bullied all the time, because you've got to stand up at some point or other. Because it's the same. If you keep sitting back, they'll keep coming back at you and keep coming back at you, chipping away at you. And at some point or other, you've got to stand up and put a wall up and say, you're not tolerating that.
I think with the board, I've got issues like everybody has at certain times with different things it's made. We understand that, but I think if you look the way the board took on the whole of Scottish football alone with the Singe deal, which is just embarrassing when you look at what's happened elsewhere in sport, and the women's football in England that nobody watches really. When you think about it, and the board have stood up, it depends how it was done and what they can do within the rules. And I like to think we will hear something for the club, but I don't think if it is a case that they couldn't have done anything about it because of how it's been done. What's the point to be get in there and try and get in there and change it? Yes, mate.
I was listening to what the guy was saying there, and the club and chipping away, and maybe we should come out and say stuff so people don't come back for more. See, in this occasion, it's a done deal. There's nothing the club can do. I would stay silent about it. I think that would worry them more if the club said absolutely nothing. If Rangers came out and said nothing, because no matter what they say, they're not going to change it. They're not going to change it. And they can go down the road, what we've all discussed tonight, and say, where's the sporting integrity, this guy, and point the finger at so many different parties. I mean, we've done it tonight. We've covered all the teams that are Celtic-minded teams that run through the veins of different clubs. I would like to think that Rangers should just say definite silence, and it'll make them think more. Why is Rangers no said anything here? What's going on? And I would just say nothing. I really would, because it's not going to do nothing to the outcome. Absolutely not. It's not going to change the outcome. It's done.
Unless they're taking counsel about it, Stevie.
Well, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Can I come in there, Ox?
Yes, Steve.
Right. No, see, there are times you've got to stand up to the bully, because the bully will just keep coming back at you.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you've got to take lose a battle to win the war, eh?
Mm-hmm.
But you're still going to make a stance at some point and let people ken how you're feeling. And a strongly worded letter or whatever, telling them that we're not happy about this. The Rangers fans are not happy, and Rangers Football Club isn't happy about it. And then the fans can see that they're trying to do something. But sometimes you've got to take a slap in the face and a defeat just to get your point over, so they're not going to keep coming back at you. The bully will keep hitting you as long as you don't stand up to him.
Mm-hmm.
When you stand up to him, he'll think twice about coming at you.
Against bullies. I know what you're saying when we look at Stevie, Big Al, Southside's noses. They've stood up a few times as well, you know.
The man noses as straight as a die.
It's went one side and then been hit back, Biggie.
Aye.
Right.
Maybe the club aren't releasing a statement because Castor are bringing out a new T-shirt.
Maybe.
Something like that. You know what I mean? I disagree with Stevie. I think the club just come out and not for the benefit of Scottish football, but for the benefit of Glasgow Rangers fans and supporters. I think it would make sense. That's just my personal opinion. Whether they do or they don't, I'm not really fussed. Stevie's right in saying it ain't going to change anything.
I don't know if this is true. The research
a statement for Rangers.
No, Japan are playing a World Cup qualifier on the 1st of February.
And by the way, Australia's
Celtic Park.
Australia's also playing something as well. So that'll be Rogic missing.
He was missing.
He plays against us every time. Right, last word to you, Davy.
As I say, I like the club to make a statement just so the fans know where they are and just to show that they're not going to be pushed about. And that's at the end of it. I'd like to wish you all a Merry Christmas, lads, and I hope you stay safe and
you too, mate. And listen, thanks for taking part in the show. It's you do, it's guys like yourself and everybody's a small part in the Rangers Radio jigsaw, mate, and you're one of the pieces. Thanks a lot for taking part, mate.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers, mate.
All the best, Davey.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers.
Don't worry, Big Al, you're a corner piece.
Aye, that's what I say. Thank you.
And AK, you're a missing piece.
Well, he's one big piece, isn't he? He's one big. He's like the sun or something in the corner, shining bright.
I'll take
a
a
simple piece that everybody gets. Oh, that goes there.
His mate Andy Phillips got my jigsaw and Secret Santa 3 to 6 months. He phoned up and said I'd done it in 2 days.
I don't mind a jigsaw.
Very good.
It's comedy central. It's like Saturday Night Live on here.
Sometimes, Al. Sometimes.
How is his career going? I've not been listening into the other station. I've not got time. Are you moving up? Are you moving up the ranks of the?
I'm quite happy to be one of the people. Al.
That's good. That's good. You seem a bit more rounded, a bit more brushed, a bit more polished.
We're trying to mould them, but it's difficult, Al. It's difficult.
Aye. It's like you're Jeremy Paxman, and he's kind of Andrew Marr, isn't he? He's not quite there yet.
I don't know about that.
You were nearly
like Jeremy
nearly Andy Pandy, mate, but that's another story.
Andy Pandy. You got one wee paw and all.
Okay.
Maybe you were going to ask me something. Were you going to ask me something, Stevie?
No, when you go then, Stevie.
No, I wasn't going to ask you anything. No.
Do you paint the Doug's toenails red, white and blue? Manicure it, man.
Well, that's Southside about Frank. How's Frank getting on Southside?
He's doing well. He's doing well, mate. Fuck, I don't even know. Frank. I'll give this a break. I'm still looking at my Secret Santa thing here, man. Brilliant.
You like it, aye?
Aye. You certainly get well used.
Frank would have liked that.
Frank would have liked that. I was thinking that. You use it in yourself.
Big Stevie, we know too much about each other, don't we?
100%. You're a bad man for mentioning Frank. So yeah. Poor Frank.
Stevie, I thought it was a sausage dog he had because he called it Frank.
Francis, aye.
Fergus. Wee Fergus earlier.
Francis Alois.
Wee Fergus. Be fair,
Southside is that a hot dog then? A Frankfurter?
I think that was the joke earlier, Alex. I think you're a wee bit behind there, son.
You're Alex. You're a wee bit behind, man.
Alex, it's big.
That's how you never make
you're
that.
A bit slow for
You never
on
make
here.
Radio 1, mate. Too slow.
Right, let's get back. Let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show. It's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Can I ask the panel a footballing question?
Of course you can, Big Al.
This is just leaving after the last time I called. What's the Big Stevie, Southside and Alex's opinion on Scott Wright? Is he a squad player or is he a player that we can mould into a first team player over the next 6 months?
That's a great question, big man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll do this. We'll base it on intelligence. Well, what they doing the most intelligent to the bottom. So I'll either go to Stevie or Southside first, and then I'll last.
I better take that then. I thought I was going to take that. Yeah, you're quite right. Big Al, I think he's got potential, because he's been there a wee while now, but he's got to try and break through. I think it's like anything, you've got to get a wee run of games, big man. But he got a chance in Europe, and then he came on as a sub last week when I thought maybe Sakala. So I think he's got to try and get more consistency and to try and get more time, Big Al, on the park. Otherwise, he will become a bit park player possibly. And if it becomes that, then you're looking at, I wouldn't think he'd be on a lot in wages, and we got him on the free transfer. So it's one of the gambles we're taking. We're hoping to develop him. So it might be a case just to give him a wee bit more time, and hopefully he'll get a bit more game time. But you're looking at then maybe taking Sakala out of the team if he's getting in and playing well in that position. The right hand side's one of the positions in it. There's a few players can go in there and play. It's who takes their chance, mate, I think. So up to now, I think he's going to be a bit part.
Bit part player. All right. Stevie?
Squad player for me. Too easily shoved off a ball, fades in and out a game now and again when he gets on. Definitely a squad player for me. I think he's got potential, but I just think at times, I mean, like that goal there on Saturday, he should have buried that goal. I know all players miss certs, we Alfie misses certs and whatever, but when you come on to make an impact, that's your time, and they take it. But the bottom line for me, the Big Al's question is, he's definitely a squad player for me as it is now.
Okay, I think Alex Kelly's had a minute centre half, but on you go, AK.
Next to Lundstrom. No, for me, I had high hopes of him when I seen him last year. I thought he'd a kind of Neil McCann look about him, but I don't think he's as good as Neil McCann was for Advocates' team. He looks more an impact player. We use his speed when the defence is tiring against us, because he did contribute there on Saturday to altering the course of the game. And as Stevie said, he should have burst the net. That was quite an easy chance that he missed, or allowed the keeper to. But no, to start, no, that would be starting Sakala.
After he missed that chance, what did he contribute?
Well, he was always an out ball, wasn't he? Connor Golson was always trying to fun him. But by the way,
after he missed that chance, what did he contribute?
Very little, but so did the team.
I never asked you that.
I answered it. Very little. And by the way, I thought Bridgman's
absolutely zilch after that.
I thought Bridgman's criticism of my man Lundstrom was very, very harsh. I'm with you, Southside. There was no reason for him to get brought off there on Saturday.
Right, so answer Big Al's question.
No, he's a bit part player. He's a squad player.
Do you want my opinion, Al, before I bring him Old Davey in?
Yeah, but none of them said can he be developed. None of them answered that. Do you think he can be developed? We've got coaches there that are used to developing young players over in Holland. I just think he's got the basis there.
We've had him in a year. I think it was a 3-year deal. That's a year he's been with. It might even be 4 years, but I didn't get that checked out. And at the moment, I don't even, if everybody's fit, I don't even see him in for squad now.
Right, cool. That's fair enough. But just one wee question. Just where's that Jake Hasty? Is he no longer at the club?
He's still floating about, mate, but he's never going to earn as much money as he's getting. So he's his deal's up in the summer.
There's a few Jakeys on
He was
the
a flying
panel.
machine.
Well,
That wasn't that funny, Alex.
Funny you should say that. We've been joined by somebody who's never a Jakey. We've been joined by old Davey. How we doing, old Dean?
Good evening, boys.
Hang up. Cheers, boys.
Cheers, Al.
See, I've got that's the kind of effect I've got on people.
Right, we've reached that time of the evening. Southside, it's over to you to close it.
Oh, well, how?
Oh, you're a hard man.
Right, Davey, come on, go on. Spit it out and tell us what you want to say, mate. Come on, give us your feelings on it.
Davey, I've had reports that you're making accusations about your lovemaking and fish strippers. Is there any truth in this?
That was good, wasn't it? We'll keep that between you and me.
Once I know, it's never a secret, Davey.
The thing is, guys, we've got to keep laughing. You can't let this was coming all day long, and we can go over it and over it and over it, but we move on because we all know what's going on. We all know nothing will change. Nothing will change, guys. Nothing will change. It's the same old inner sanctum.
I'm just going to give you the fixtures now. I'm going to give you the fixtures, Davey, what they're planning to do. Obviously, we place it run behind closed doors, and everybody will be back in the stadium when we go to Pittodrie. It'll be mobbed. Yeah. Well, if it is, it'll be the first time for a long time, maybe since 1987. And then we play Stirling Albion on a Friday in the Cup. Then we're at home to Livingston in the league on the 26th. So that'll be the Wednesday, I think. Yeah. And then we're away to Ross County on the 29th. Yeah, which is the Saturday. And then we play away to them on the 2nd of February. Away to Hibs. Home to Hearts. Home to Hibs on the 6th and 9th. And then away to Dortmund. Away to Dundee United. Away to Dortmund and home to Motherwell. We could have the league sewn up by the end of February. The fixtures there's a lot of them, but apart from the European ties, there's big games at Ibrox as well. But there you go, Davey.
Yeah, definitely. I think when we look at this realistically, once we all calm down, that this might turn out pretty good for us. Whether I know everybody's saying, what's he talking about? This will give Gio some more time to get that team up and know them and maybe know who he's bringing in, bringing out. So at the end of the day, we'll still go to play them and we're confident. But the 3 weeks, even bringing it back to where we are now, we could benefit out of that as well.
Aye, you might be right. I don't think it's worrying anybody. I don't think we're scared of the fixtures. I don't think we're worried about that. It's the blatant manipulation that's upsetting people. Southside.
Aye, that's what I was just going to say, Davey. It's not anything about moving the fixtures about or anything like that. We're not scared of anybody. We're champions and we're top of that league. It's just the way it's been done, mate. Like you said, we all seen it coming. It coming, so obviously if it's a board decision, it comes from McClellan, Doncaster, and that bird Karen McCluskey. I take it A3 obviously sanctioned it if it's just been put through, so yeah, I'd imagine they'll be the 3 that's done it. And like you said, the rest of the clubs, they're trolls and that, tagged on with it and said it'll be quite a good thing. But like we've said on here, we don't know in 3 weeks whether we'll be able to go back and play football. There might still be problems then. You're coming into winter time, you could have a right mad frost in that. Games could be called off because of that. So you don't know, but it's just the way it was done. We were upset about. Apart from that, we're ready to go come Boxing Day against St Mirren, Definitely, mate.
Of course, I get your point, David. But I get your point. We've got to deal with the cards, and it's a manipulation, as Southside's agreed with. Stevie?
My thoughts are just as plain and simple. I would play them in Dublin at 3 in the morning. I don't feel them at all. It's just all a jiggery pokery it's going on. It's just getting a bit blatant for me now. And it's really blatant, and it's cheating, and it's corrupt, and it's the people that's doing it for them. It's no, they're standing back, lapping it up. As I keep saying, it only takes 2 idiots to outdo a genius, and this is what's happening nowadays. And let's be honest, it's just blind hatred for our club. But as far as the fear factor goes, there's none here. I'll play them in Dublin at 3 in the morning, anytime, anywhere. We'll play them. We're Glasgow Rangers. We're capable of doing them on the field, and that's all that matters to me. They've got a big game coming their way, and they're more worried. We're in their heads. They're trying everything to shuffle the pack to get what they want. That just smells of fear to me.
Of course it does. Of course it does.
Anything else, Davey?
I think, Donny, if you want a solution to all this, I know this has been brought up many times, and I know it's probably never going to be a feasible suggestion, but Rangers have only got a crack at that if we came out of that league and moved into the likes of the English Premiership. Not Premiership, into the Championship or whatever. Because if they don't get into another, where SPL, I'm getting mixed up here. The Scottish Football Association have got anything to do with us, we'll never get a fair deal. And we all know that. So we'd need to come out of that and go elsewhere.
I think that ship sailed, mate, if I'm being honest, mate. I think that ship sailed, you know.
It's just an idea, you know, but
I don't think you're alone in that rationale, Davey. But I think that ship sailed, you know. I think you have to, unfortunately, you can't pick the country you were born in. And you have to play in the country, you know. You have to deal with the chips you've got, you know, but I understand your argument, AK.
Aye. The only club that I'm really disappointed with is Hearts over all of this. I mean, that was the club that got relegated, you know, unfairly a couple of years ago. They knew that. They stood ways when we were trying to hold the SPFL to the courts to get them investigated. They were doing everything in their power not to get investigated because they knew they had files there that shouldn't be seen for public domain. You know, so we all know what's going on. You want to believe that the honesty is going to, you know, flourish in the end up, but it's continuing to happen. So we just need to dust ourselves down and use it as motivation to get back and win on the field because we know what we're up against. And until we get power in the boardrooms, then we're always going to face this. It's unjust, but we just need to go on with it.
I don't know how you get power, mate, when you only get one vote. You know, as long as yeah.
Well, Mr. Lowell seems to have plenty of influence still, doesn't he?
Well, aye. I don't know if it is him. Well, a certain guy came to visit the remnants of that visit in 1982, but that's another story. Right, we've been joined by Ian for YouTube, our friend Ian. How we doing, Ian? Evening.
No bad. 2 things. Want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a great New Year. Another thing, for the young lady that answered the phone, could you just give her my regards? She was lovely to talk to.
Okay, I'll pass that on. Young and a lady, yes, I like that, yes.
Thank you very much. She was really nice. I'm not going to go the same stuff we've been there all night, but what I will add is if we're on about too many fixtures coming December, now what they're doing now is that you just read out the fixtures. I mean, there's some fixture pile up, and who says in 3 weeks, I mean, who's got this magic ball that they can look at and say in 3 weeks' time everything's going to be fine? What if it's a hell of a lot worse and there's no crowds, it's just empty stadiums, and then it's actually called off to whenever they feel like putting it back on again? I mean, what happens then? Because I'm bamboozled at this whole thing for what I've heard today.
The problem is that football wasn't called off. They decided to call it off.
But they couldn't end up.
It could be. and it could be, and that's the problem, that we don't understand the rationale. So when you've got games to play, why don't you play them? Because if it goes to later on in the season, you've took fixtures out your calendar. That's the point that I think Southside made earlier. Southside.
Aye, mate, I said that earlier, Ian, you know, and if you were going to cancel football, then you should have started with the night, you know.
They should have playing the night.
The whole of Scotland, mate, people will be going out, people are going shopping, people are going to have parties, and some people are disappointed that they're not getting out at Christmas and New Year, and some of them are going out on Christmas Eve and stuff like that. But see, the thing was, football wasn't stopped, mate. That was the thing, and the winter break was meant to start after the 3rd of January. So all that's happened is, like we said earlier, things have put their wheels in motion, and next minute they've just cancelled it, and we can't guarantee whether or anything like going forward in February, where some games might be unplayable due to frost or ice or snow or anything. Never mind the pandemic, you know. So
the virus gets worse.
Exactly, mate. And there's a good chance it'll peak probably over this period of time going forward, you know, and she's still no put the brakes on it. So as far as we're concerned, mate, we've just seen it as games weren't cancelled, so there was no reason just to carry on. And now it's been changed, we just need to galvanise ourselves as a support and the club, and we go forward, and we just make sure that we just batter everybody going forward on that park, you know. That's it. Their satisfaction at the end of it, mate.
I know. I think it's just the way that mob for the other end went about this. You know, I get sickened the Rangers fans, because you could see it coming, and the minute you heard that they were going to put in and get things their way, it was going to go their way. Come on, I mean, the SFA never give us anything, do you know what I mean? All they give us is fines for nothing, or basically nothing, or the slightest wee things, or for singing songs that they can get away with at Hampden Park. So, I mean, you don't hear nothing about that, do you know what I mean? And getting fined for that, and I don't know, there seems to be an agenda against our club all the time, as we know. But after the day, I mean, there's been many a time I've been sickened to death with that lot, and I was sickened to death today again. I just went, I couldn't really believe. I just hope no, but I just heard it all and was watching the news and on YouTube and that. I just thought, oh, here we go again. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, that's all just batter Rangers. Batter Rangers. That's all it is. It's always going to be like that.
Oh, sure.
Yes, mate.
Terry's just put it up there. Result.
Yes.
I'll give you the honour.
Announced it, but I think we should look to get a Boxing Day game called after St Mirren or on forum, and we might want to think about it long and hard if we've not got everybody available, because the greatest team the world's ever seen has dropped 2 points at the new St Mirren Park.
Yes.
The draw.
Yes.
No.
Hey, dancer.
over to Southside, and then Big Stevie. Stevie,
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant news. That means we better make sure we get our strongest team out in the park on Sunday.
I'm feeling happier. I'm glad I phoned up so you can tell me the score.
Listen, it's a wee bonus, innit? It's a bonus for the that's been at it. So that's positive, mate. Absolutely delighted, man. Let's batter everybody after this break.
I can all that.
Mental. It's time to stick a hammer down now. This is it. Stick a hammer down.
Aye. Put the red poker into everybody and just batter them. Just go for it. Oh, yes. Right, thanks a lot, guys.
Listen, Ian, before you go,
sorry.
Before you go, mate, we'll be having a wee show tomorrow night, and there'll be fun and laughter and hopefully a few jokes. You're welcome to join us. Davey, I think you're having the night off, is that right?
Oh, that's just me. That's salmon. That's my Christmas, by the way. That's my Christmas.
Salmon. If you get salmon for Christmas, I'll get you a tin opener in the Secret Santa.
That's a cracker. That couldn't have worked out better. That's better than getting it. Oh, I better not say that.
Ian, before you go, mate, if you join us tomorrow night, you're more than welcome, and so's all Davy. But
I won't be tuning in. I tune in all the time. I might not come on the radio all the time, but I always.
All right, mate. Listen, can I just say to you, for everybody here at Rangers Radio, we think a lot of you, mate. And
thanks a million.
We like you coming on. We know what you're dealing with, and we're proud of you. Yeah. And if you know what Rangers Radio is about, I don't know what is. Big Stevie.
Oh, 100%, Hawks, man. Every boy kicks everything into touch for me. Good blue nose, and I'm looking forward to hearing a few jokes out of Memora. Can I just say something, Knox? I'm going to do Archie McPherson here instead of Stephen McPherson. By the way, 5 minutes they played tonight again, and the ref played an extra minute over that again. So 96 minutes, and St Mirren got robbed of a glaring penalty kick with a shirt pull. There you go. So I watched everything. And there you go, Ox. Again, the referees played, thinking they were going to get it. But there you go. Happy days, guys. Happy days.
Ridiculous. Oh, ridiculous. Well, thanks a lot for your kind words, guys. And I will be tuning in tomorrow night.
Cheers, Ian. You look after yourself, mate.
I look forward to it. And good night, lads. Good night, and thanks a lot.
Good night, Ian. All the best, pal. All right. Good night.
Right, all the best to you. Right, good night. Good night. Goodbye.
No, it's all about economics, Southside, and I hear Aberdeen they're trying to approach the Scottish government to let fans in for Boxing Day. Yeah, what a muddle they've got themselves in, Aberdeen, we've got double the points that Aberdeen have got, Southside. Double.
Aye, mate. He's actually that much off his seat. He wants to have a fan zone up there, and that's what he's been trying to create. Can you imagine that? The Bears going up there, and he thinks we're going to share a beer with him. That's what he's trying to create up there. That they'll all go together and all that to the games. He's off his seat. But no, mate, it's a cracking result for us, and Aberdeen, man, like I said, the guy's mad, so whatever he's wanting to propose or whatever he does, it wouldn't surprise me, mate. But it's all about us now, mate. That's a cracking B bonus for us tonight without kicking a ball. So let's go forward now, and let's hope for the game against St Mirren gets played on the Sunday and they don't try and pull a flanker on us or anything, you know.
Yeah. It's a beginning to winning the next game now, AK, yeah?
Definitely. Time to catch a march on them if we haven't already. As I say, we've got to use this as motivation, haven't we? You know, if the players didn't realise how much Scottish football was against them, then they certainly do now. So it's time to hammer home that message and take advantage of these situations. That game against Dundee United at 1-0, we can all mump and moan about the performance, but see, at the end of the day, the result was essential, as it's proved to be.
Aye. I never seen that coming, but there you go. Every cloud, my phone's pinging. I don't know. A lot of people send me just one word: karma. I don't know what they're on about. David, can you help me?
Is that Culture Club?
Aye, caramel. There should be chocolate in front of it. Chocolate, caramel, chocolate, caramel.
Caramel cake, do you like that and all?
Oh, I've got a sweet tooth. I've got a sweeter tooth now, I can tell you. I've just ate 2 Maltesers there to celebrate.
At the same time? Wow, you're wild.
And my mother always said, what goes round comes round. And that's what just happened tonight, boy. That just was what happened tonight. That was one boot in the Gilligan.
All right, we've been joined by Jimmy. Evening, Jimmy. How you doing?
Hello, how you doing?
You've got the show on, I think. Can you turn it off, mate?
Just turned it off. Just heard that result with April Paisley. That's a great result, eh?
Oh, mate, yes, a great result.
I hear a lot of Rangers supporters complaining about the season being shut down and things. It's a good thing and a bad thing for us as well. He's Van Bronckhorst a lot more chance to get his ideas across. You know, you look at the bright side. The boys had hardly any time to get his ideas into practice, you know. This wee gap maybe might benefit Rangers in the long run. he might be able to find a few wee gems in a B team and get them in the first team. I don't think it might be no bad for us, After that result tonight, that's brilliant, you know what I mean? That's a brilliant result.
We win on Sunday. You don't know what will happen with them. You never know. We could even further ahead.
That's right. So it's all no bad. Forget the gloom and doom. These politicians haven't got a clue. If you had a clue in all these lockdowns, we've been out about 2 years ago, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So it's a long bit of string with that lot,
I felt the night, Jim, the government weren't getting the blame. This is the manipulation of football clubs and football fans. It's annoying people, yeah?
Yeah, aye.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. They're right, she's at the kidding, She's sitting on that soapbox. She's on that soapbox spouting a lot of the same thing. By the way, see if you went in a coma for a year, you woke up, you would think it was still 2019, Listen to her. It's just the same rubbish that's coming out with. Lockdown, face masks, don't do this, don't do that. Didn't work the last time. How's it going to work this time?
I don't think you'll find many people that on this show are fans of that particular lady, but we're more fans of Giovanni Van Bronckhorst and Joe Aribo.
That's right. Well, that's what I'm saying, because that gives him a great chance, a great opportunity now to get them all together, have a right good look at them. And by that time, we'll be able to bring in maybe Zane Kite and another couple of Zane people in, Mm-hmm. No, I think I wouldn't be too pessimistic about the shutdown. I think it might be quite good for us as well.
Now, how funny would that be if we happen to sign a new player and he scored the winner against them in February, Southside?
Aye, I think we've got enough players anyway. If we don't sign anybody that can score against them in February, No, it could. I know what you're saying. It gives Gio a bit of time, but mate, to be honest, he was going to get time for the 3rd of January going on. It was just the integrity or lack of it that's just developed over the last 48 hours. Do you know what I mean? But like you say, we're Rangers, mate. We're not scared of anybody. We're tapping that like, and we'll take it and we'll play them. We'll play them when we get to when the fixtures are getting played, mate. So, aye, it'll work probably positively for us in a way. But genuinely, I think all deep down, and probably yourself, you'd have wanted to have played these games just to get them out the road and then let Gio have his chance with the players, if I'm honest. Unless you think it's right to stop it now,
Aye. I think Giovanni had a very good one. Told him to keep the 0.
I see what you done there, Jimmy. That was quite good. Quite good, mate. Quite good. What's your thoughts on how the seasons went, Jimmy? Yeah? What's your
well, my main thoughts is earlier on, I think I was beginning to think Gerrard was losing his dressing room. Mm-hmm. He was on there blasting his gums out. Players aren't doing this, no doing that. They're not following the plan. We're drawing games. We should be winning and all this nonsense. We've heard all that. As soon as he's left, a brighter step. Okay, last game aside, I hope that was a blip. But I can see the vast improvement. And the vast improvement is due to the pace. They begin to play with a bit more pace up front rather than this sideway, back to McGregor, go to Tavernier, back to Golston. That was getting nowhere. And he couldn't change it. This guy changes it right away. Sure, he hooked up Lumsden at half time. No, nobody good enough. I'll get somebody else on. Move a bit. You know what I mean? No, this wee guy is more savvy. Much more savvy than Gerrard ever was. Gerrard was what he was. He was an apprentice,
Well,
that was his apprenticeship.
All right. Mm-hmm. All right. Everybody starts as an apprentice, then you move on.
That's right. Aye. Mm-hmm. Well, the game is due. He stopped at 10 in a row. That was what his job was. And he done that. Got to get the boy his due there. But that was it. It was time for him to go. Definitely time for him to go. They were getting stale.
Talking about apprentices, Stevie, did you get your badges sorted?
Badges, yes, yeah.
Well done, mate. Well done. Proud of you, mate. Proud of you. Right, okay. Aye, Jim, I think some of the points you made's valid. Didn't you come, Stevie?
Oh, I was just saying the Harry Bikers were up tonight, yes.
Wait a minute. There's breaking news for Scottish football. It's just broke there. We'll just have a statement for Celtic FC are requesting their game for St Mirren tonight is rescheduled for after the winter break.
Aye.
Carry on, Stevie. Just thought you want to know that. Carry on.
Listen, no, sorry, but I thought you were going to say they booked a training session in Dubai.
Stevie, in you come.
Yes. I think that's David.
Davey, I'm going to. I know you're getting old. You sometimes forget your name. You're Davey, Stevie, Davey, Stevie, and you come.
Done that the other night, I know. Oh, God.
You just stick to your fish suppers, boy. Stevie, in you come.
Oh, it's dead funny. It's a mid TV, right? The lassie's got teeth. He could get an apple through a letterbox, right? And guess who's interviewing? Being Frank McGarvey, and you want to see him. He's standing there spewing absolute. He meant to be happy for St. Mirren getting a one each straw. He's standing there. He's greeting. He's nearly greeting. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I'll tell you what, man. What a result that was. I don't know even kicking a ball. Unbelievable.
Stevie, down with Davey.
It's a tonic we all needed, I can tell you that. We all needed that after that garbage that went on the day.
With some of the phone calls you've been making, you've been looking for more than a tonic, boy. That's your trouble.
I can sleep well tonight.
I hear everything, mate. Just letting you know that, yeah?
I can. You do a great job, by the way, Ox, I must say. You sound dour at times, but I don't think you're not really. You're spot on. You're on the ball. On the ball. Jimmy Greaves, on the ball.
You're a sook, Davey.
Doer. I've never been called that before, David. Doer. I've been called a lot worse, but I've never been called Doer.
The woman next door says that I know I'm a sook.
All right,
Sugar plums. Carry on.
Listen, Davey, Jimmy, thanks for your calls tonight. It was great to hear from you, yeah? Yeah, all right.
Dave,
all right, Jimmy, thanks a lot, mate.
Right, do take care of yourselves and have a nice Christmas and Happy New Year, boys, okay?
Yeah.
Nice to hear you again. Happy days. Bye-bye.
Speak to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Davey, you go and get stuck into these celebrations. You've earned it.
So have you, son. So have you. Good night. God bless.
Cheers, mate. Speak to you soon. All right. By the way, Southside Stevie, we've reached that time of the evening.
Oh, you're kidding.
Aye.
Flew on, innit? All that morning. I must apologise to the listeners tonight. I've been a money so, but I just can't help it, man. It's getting unreal, man. It's really getting in my wick, and I can only apologise to the listeners for doing a lot of mourning. But anyway, I wish them all the best, Docs. Merry Christmas to everybody on the show. Yourself.
Will you be back? Are you coming on to join us tomorrow evening?
Yes, I might be on for a wee.
Right, so we can leave your secret Santa to tomorrow.
Right.
Yes.
I'm a bit worried after Southside getting the shavers and all that. But I don't know.
Well, by the way, see tomorrow you might get second-hand shavers.
That's true.
Right, it's over to you, Southside.
Aye, I'm not apologising, Stevie, because we're moaning, because we're telling the truth. No, but I know, obviously emotions run high at the start, but we're all passionate about the Rangers. We're passionate about our club, mate. You know that, I know that, Ox knows it, the listeners know it. No, we're all passionate. We just know there's a wee bit of jiggery, pokery getting done here, no. But do you know what? We're going to accept it, and we're just going to move on, and we'll just hopefully just keep winning, mate, and just whether we've got a crowd in or no, we play on Sunday, we beat St Mirren and we move on to when we get back to playing, I think it is Aberdeen, I think it'll be.
Aberdeen the 16th.
Aye. I'd like to wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas, mate. I hope everybody has a good New Year when it comes as well, all the Rangers fans listening in this evening, alright?
Cheers, mate, and I felt AK, I felt the mood changed about 21 minutes to 10.
Yes.
It was no a bad wee result coming for Paisley, was it? And as your text messages say, that's karma for these. Thank you very much, boys.
Cheers, lads. Can I thank Southside and Big Stevie, who stood in at the last moment for the lads who had diary engagements. There you go, but diary engagements they forgot about. But thanks to the lads for stoning in. It's been a pleasure. Southside, once again, have a nice Christmas, because I know you're knowing tomorrow night. Big Stevie, hopefully you feel tomorrow night. Thanks to everybody who took part tonight. We know passions for running high. We know what they're up to. Don't worry. We are the people. Take it away, old school boy.
Who's that team they call it? Just who's that team they all adore? They're the boys of loyal blue and the strong mentality, and the right to show the world what they can do. So people see the Real Madrid, the Guineas football team, and even hear the Anderlecht, the best they've ever seen. Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur too. There's Arsenal, Chelsea, Blackburn, just to name a famous few. Who's that team they call it? Just who's that team they all adore? They're the boys in royal blue and the strong mentality, and the right to show the world what they can do. So bring on the hipster hums to say bring on the Spaniard by its door. Barcelona, Real Madrid, they will be a galloping. Margaret to show the world what we can do. Who's that team they call it? Just who's that team they all adore? They're the boys in royal blue and